This is definitely one of the bigger fires, if not the biggest, that we have seen in Oregon up to this year.
Fire season has officially arrived. We're already seeing fires at the coast, in the Willamette Valley, and in southern Oregon. While none are burning out of control and threatening homes, it's an important reminder about fire safety. Thank you for joining us here at 5 o'clock on this Memorial Day. I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm David Molko. One of the largest fires is the so-called 7K fire in Lane County, just southwest of Veneta. It's grown to about 300 acres now. Let's bring in Daisy Caballero here with an update. Daisy, what do we know?
Yeah, David, Laurel, the fire first broke out on Friday afternoon. It was estimated then to be about 150 acres later that night. So it nearly doubled in size by Saturday morning. And the good news is fire crews have secured 75% of the perimeter of the fire as of this morning, up from 40% yesterday morning. At least 300 personnel crews are on the fire today, alongside 200 hand crew members, 8 engines, 2 bulldozers, 5 water tenders, and 3 helicopters. Some challenges they faced along this holiday weekend are the strong winds, lack of access to water, and the heavy vegetated and vertical terrain.
And so we've had to truck in a lot of water to actually be able to do some good work. That is becoming one of our priorities now, is to continue and just completely build out our hose lay system that we have around the fire so that we can access water at every point.
However, says firefighters have been in good spirits despite the back-breaking work, and thanks every crew member working on the blaze during this holiday weekend. She also hopes our viewers take this as a reminder that wildfire season is fast approaching despite all the rain and a record snowpack we've seen. So it's time to pack that go bag and have an evacuation plan for you and your family. Now, as for the cause of the 7K fire, that's still under investigation. David, Laurel.
Important reminders there, Daisy, and we echo those feelings about thanking our fire crews. Thank you. We also saw a fire spark in Tillamook County over the weekend. The sheriff's force deputies spotted the fire from the Jordan Creek area around noon Saturday. Crews from Oregon State Forestry, Marshall Logging, and Hampton Lumber all joined together in the effort to put the fire out. And as you can see, conditions are quickly drying out there in the Coast Range, and this fire put out a lot of smoke. No word yet on how it started.
In Beaverton, 9 people escaped from a house after it caught fire early this morning. Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue say when they arrived around 2 o'clock, they saw flames coming from the garage. This was on Southwest Timberline near Bel Air Drive. Everyone made it out safely. Fire investigators say it appears the blaze started accidentally, but haven't officially issued a cause.
A lot of fires to tell you about today. Portland Fire and Rescue quickly worked to put out a fire in North Portland near the Steel Bridge earlier today. Officials say the fire was burning a large rubber pellet pile up against vacant grain silos. This is on North Thunderbird Way. It created a huge smoke cloud. This is the second time this pile caught on fire. Crews were also there last Wednesday.
In Northeast Portland, what began as a welfare check on Saturday night ended up, police say, as a firearms bust. Police say they were checking on a man slumped over in a running car on Northeast Killingsworth and 48th. That is when they say they spotted the magazine of a handgun in the driver's waistband. Police say they backed off, then woke up 28-year-old Devontae Zimmerly using a police vehicle loudspeaker. They arrested Zimmerly and say they also found 2 rifles, 2 shotguns, plus silencers.
Now to the search for some teenagers who escaped from a medium to maximum security facility just outside of Seattle. Detectives believe they could be in Southwest Washington since their getaway car was found in Vancouver. Let's bring in Mike Benner. Mike, investigators really want to get these teens back into custody.
Yeah, they do, Laurel. It's important to point out 3 of the 7 escapees have been located, but 4 are still on the run. One of them was serving time for murder, another for assault. So it is paramount to find these individuals, and sooner rather than later.
A bird's eye view of the Echo Glen Children's Center just outside of Seattle. Early Sunday morning, detectives say 7 teenagers between the ages of 15 and 17 assaulted a staffer at the medium to maximum security facility. We're told the teens then took off in the victim's SUV.
There was like 2 or 3 cop cars here, all the way down the road.
This man lives in the Seattle suburb of Burien, where 3 of the 7 teens were found and taken into custody Sunday. With the 4 other teens still missing, police warned neighbors to be vigilant, as one woman who wanted to remain anonymous told our sister station, King 5.
They're saying stay in your house so that their police dog could scout around the yards and see if anybody was still hanging around.
Turns out they weren't. In all likelihood, the 4 teens were driving 160 miles south to Vancouver. That's where investigators found the car the teens are accused of stealing. The discovery forces detectives to expand their search to Southwest Washington, while others will take a closer look at how the teens managed to escape from the security facility in the first place.
And speaking of that escape, this is the 3rd time in a year and a half that teens have escaped from the Echo Glen Children's Center outside of Seattle. As far as this latest escape, again, 4 teens remain on the run. If you spot them or know anything about what's going on, you're urged to contact police. Back to you, David.
Mike Benner in the newsroom. Thank you, Mike. Let's take you to Salem, where we're headed into a 5th week of Republican-led walkouts in the Senate, which means proposed laws are stacking up. That is an understatement. Evan Watson breaks down a few of the bills this session that are now at risk of going nowhere.
First up, Oregon senators need to approve bills to address Oregon's drug and fentanyl crisis. One would fix issues with the rollout of Measure 110 and support treatment and recovery programs throughout the state. Others would expand access to Narcan, an opioid overdose reversal drug that can be used to save people's lives. Next, Oregon has a shortage of public defenders. Sometimes cases are dismissed because there's no lawyer available to represent a defendant. Other times, defendants unnecessarily wait in jail for months before getting a chance at a hearing. Senate Bill 337 addresses this system. And a bill from the House would change how crime victims are treated and compensated. It passed with unanimous bipartisan support. And Oregon lawmakers need to figure out how to fund the I-5 bridge replacement. If Oregon doesn't work out its $1 billion contribution, that could put federal funding at risk. And as a top priority, lawmakers need to pass major budgets for schools, housing, government, and other areas. The group of Republican senators is also protesting the passage of other bills, ones that would provide abortion access for all ages and gender-affirming care, regulate guns, and enumerate marriage for all. Republicans have said that they'll return on the last day of the session to pass bipartisan budgets and bills, but Democrats have said they won't let that happen, saying Republicans in the minority don't get to pick and choose what goes through. So as it stands, the sides are still at a stalemate.
That was Evan Watson reporting. 3 people are safe after they were rescued from the water this morning. Their fishing boat sank off the southern Oregon coast. About 8 a.m., the Coast Guard got a call about a 17-foot boat taking on water about a mile out from Cape Arago in Coos County. A motor lifeboat arrived within 10 minutes and found 3 people in the water. They were wearing life jackets near where the boat went under. A chopper from the North Bend Air Station lowered a swimmer to the boat to help with first aid. We're told the trio were showing signs of hypothermia and were taken to the hospital.
Hope they're all going to be okay. Let's take you to Southern Oregon now, where a woman from a small town is getting messages of support from around the world. This is after a stranger confronted her about a pride flag.
A video of the interaction was posted online. Derek Strom from our NBC affiliate in Medford has the story.
What makes you guys think it's right to fly that flag in a conservative town?
Jessica Vanderslice was sitting at home in Rogue River when their son noticed someone approaching their front door. Vanderslice says as soon as they stepped outside, he confronted them about the LGBTQ flag outside their home.
He asked me what right I thought I had flying that flag in his conservative town.
Vanderslice says they asked the man to leave their property.
Can you please get off my property before I call the police?
Call them all you want. It's not acceptable anymore.
They started recording the man as he left the property. Vanderslice says they asked the man why the flag isn't acceptable. They say he called the flag a disgusting agenda and told them to get out of Rogue River before he left.
I'm from the Midwest, and I was openly gay in the Midwest, and I was never approached by anyone out there with, the level of hate this man clearly had for me.
Vanderslice says they posted a video of the interaction on a Rogue River community page looking to identify the man, but it was not well received.
Instead of finding community, people helping me identify him. I was being attacked online and told that I was a weak liberal and a snowflake, and that if I'm going to fly a controversial flag, that I should, be willing to deal with the fallout from that. And
Vanderslice says they also posted the video on TikTok, where the video has been seen hundreds of thousands of times. The video was also shared by accounts with millions of followers who helped identify the man.
Having the video go out to a much larger community who just poured love and support on me and my family was a beautiful thing. It was very touching, and it made me feel less alone.
Yeah, Jessica says they moved to Rogue River after losing their home in the deadly Alameda wildfire back in 2020.
They said while the incident has left them with mixed feelings about her new town, they do not plan on leaving.